future waits for no one, so we refuse to wait for it. We're not just pilots and engineers, we are pioneers. Today, battles are waged in nanoseconds, and planes are piloted from the other side of the world. We turn night into day and fly missions in space. The future's not coming, it's already here. This is the future. Join us and be the future.
We're at the Creech Air Force Base near Las Vegas, Nevada.
And we've been checking out the MQ-9 Reaper all day, this remotely piloted aircraft.
The best part was we came into the simulator training facility and got a chance to fly them ourselves.
We turned off autopilot a little bit and had them hand fly it.
Without any prior experiences, I thought they did pretty well.
seconds. T-minus 1 second and counting. 17 seconds and counting. 15, 14, 15, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. Ignition sequence start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The future waits for no one, so we refuse to wait for it. We're not just pilots and engineers, we are pioneers. Today, battles are waged in nanoseconds, and planes are piloted from the other side of the world. We turn night into day and fly missions in space. The future's not coming, it's already here. This is the future. Join us and be the future.
This is DRL, the Drone Racing League. Tonight, 6 of the best drone racers alive, including the 2 past world champions and the live sim tournament winner, battle each other and their own nerves in front of the largest crowd ever for a drone race.
Welcome to Chase Field, where we've turned an iconic baseball stadium into a high-speed, 3-dimensional racetrack.
This is drone racing. This is DRL. Welcome to the DRL Allianz World Championship, the premier international drone racing circuit. We're in Phoenix, Arizona for Level 5, Chase Field.
Racing fans, give it up for your 2019 DRL Allianz World Championship Pilots.
The drone pilots for semifinal 1 are headed to the cockpit. 7 heats from now, half of them will be headed to the finals. As the pilots get themselves ready to race, the Tech Ops crew prepare the first set of identical DRL Racer 4 drones. The energy here in the stadium is electric, and the pilots feel it.
Get it out, Duncan.
I'm feeling good. I just meet all the audience and it's give me like a lot of punch to go to the semifinal and get it to the final.
Swatch pilot Fluxy earned his spot in the league by winning the live esports sim tournament, so he's used to the pressure of large crowds.
I'm stoked. Feeding off the energy of crowds like this is kind of where I thrive. This is my level, 100%.
We're gonna plug in.
Yeah.
Plug them in.
Do it.
Plug in. We're past the halfway point in the season, so time is running out on the overall World Championship standings. This is especially true for both past champions, Nurk and Jet.
I need some wins. I haven't won anything this season. I've missed 3 finals now, so getting those points on the board is of utmost importance, so I gotta get up there.
We'll race 6 heats in the semifinals. 2 wins means you get to avoid sudden death. Everyone without 2 wins races sudden death, where only the winner is assured to advance to the finals. Hello everyone, alongside drone racing pilot Tony Niddle, I'm Craig Hummer. Tony, new city, new course. That gives these pilots new opportunities to impress.
This is a track unlike what we've seen in DRL history. Every DRL course is different, and the pilots are talking about how open this one is. The approaches and flying styles that worked in the past might not work here, and pilots who struggled on other courses might just find their mark on this one.
Overall, Vanover has set the standard this season. 2 level wins, plus being on the podium at every event, has given him the lead. Gab 707 and Nurk have each shown they can win as well, so the season championship is still up for grabs. In terms of the course, each heat is 2 half-mile loops through 14 gates, positioned both high and low, crisscrossing the entire stadium.
Control is good.
Our pilots and colors for semifinal Group 1.
Perfect.
Jet will fly red. Duncan white, Shaggy orange, Fluxy the red and white drone, Nurk green, and Moda flashing green.
8, 7, 6,
Semifinal 1,
5,
Heat
4.
1. Start, always critical. Great start by Duncan. He's first through the Pentagon Gate. They'll now go through the Swatch Gate, climb to the Sky Gate. That's 115 feet in the air.
Look at Shaggy pushing, though. He's trying to catch it.
Oh, no! Duncan hits the Sky Gate. He is out. That leaves Shaggy in first. Fluxy, the red and white, in second. Shaggy's down. We've had 2 lead changes almost instantly. Fluxy's in first, Nurk in second.
The doors are wide open for Fluxy. He's killing it out there. Those 2 crashes set him in the front, and he's holding on for dear life.
They're about to start lap number 2. Fluxy in front, Nurk in second.
Nurk pushing, he's trying to gain some ground.
Climbing up different lines from both pilots in the lead.
Nurk pushing ahead, he's getting it. These guys are neck to neck, Greg.
Around the left field pole, this is the switchback that is always critical. The Diamond Gate.
Look at Fluxy.
The Square Gate. Nurk and Fluxy, neck and neck.
He's pushing.
They cross over to the right-hand side of the field. After the Trust Gate, now it's the right field pole. They'll go through the Pentagon Gate one final time. Nurk's in front. A sweeping turn, but Fluxy's going for the pass. Now that is too close to call.
Let's see the timer. Let's see the timer.
What a way to start the first live event in the United States.
That was incredible, Greg.
No, it ain't happening. That's me. No. That's me, 100%.
Fluxy is credited with the win.
That looks like red up there, baby. Let's go, nerd. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, let's hear it. Oh, so close.
Duncan led off the start, but not for long.
Duncan had a great launch and was first through the Swatch Gate. He cut the Sky Gate too close and exploded.
No! No!
Then Fluxy and Nurk had an epic dogfight the rest of the heat.
Nurk caught up to Fluxy entering the switchback on lap 1. Fluxy held him off until the Swatch Gate on lap 2. Nurk had a better exit and climb, and he passed Fluxy through the Sky Gate. Then the 2 were side by side until the final turn. Nurk was first through the Pentagon Gate, but Fluxy was faster around the light pole and beat Nurk to the finish by less than half a drone length.
Let's go! No way! No way! That was me, baby!
Fluxy, it came down to a photo finish. What were the most critical parts of the race for you?
So I saw Nurk pass me, and we were up going around this pole over here, and I knew basically I just had to keep my tight lines, hold full throttle down through this Diamond Gate, and if I could just keep flying smooth, I was going to get him.
Now, I've seen you hyped before, but never like just now. How is this crowd on site affecting your racing?
Oh, I'm loving it. These guys, the energy here is amazing. You hear that? You hear that, baby?
Congratulations on your first heat win.
Thank you.
A monumental win for Fluxy, and what a confidence boost. After that dogfight, his win puts him 1 away from moving on to the finals. Tech Ops bring out the next set of Racer 4s.
These guys are the unsung heroes of DRL. Not only did they design and build the entire fleet of drones, they designed and installed the radio frequency infrastructure and the electronic timing. They're the first ones in, the last ones out at each event.
The response we get very frequently the first day that we're on site is, wow, I had no idea that it was going to be this big or there were this many people. We do every single thing related to our production. That includes the media and content production, all of the event production and planning, as well as the technology that it takes to put on one of our races.
All of these need sponsors, yeah. DRL brings 600 drones to every race. And Tech Ops is responsible for building and maintaining the fleet.
Let me know when you guys are good to go.
Getting ready. Right now we're going to test the control of the drone and make sure everything works seamlessly with the entire system. So we're in contact with race control, which is behind us, they could diagnose a lot of stuff, so we could just fly and they'll see exactly what we see.
So with the radios that we have, we can actually monitor all of the pilot's control signals that are getting to the drone and make sure that all of the video is transmitted instantly to the pilots so that they can make decisions on what they need to do when they're flying 90 miles an hour.
We have a team that spends months and months planning every single race.
With this technology and the technology that we continue to develop, we can fly anywhere our imagination takes us.
No one else does this. If this was easy, any other company can do it, but DRL is actually the leaders in the drone world.
Fluxy took the first heat by inches, but it's only the win that matters. Nurk and the others still have 5 regular heats to earn theirs. Heat 2 coming up. The Drone Racing League, brought to you by Allianz, global leaders in asset management, investments, and insurance. By the U.S. Air Force, Aim High, and by Swatch. Welcome back to the DRL Allianz World Championship. We're in Phoenix, Arizona for the semifinals of Level 5 Chase Field. We're 1 heat in, and Fluxy just beat out the 2018 World Champion Nurk in a photo finish.
Dude, that was crazy. Every pass. Yeah. Just like,
You guys got lucky.
Yeah. So don't get too excited yet. No. Shaggy was whooping your ass.
And Duncan was whooping my ass until that thing.
Duncan crashed out at the Skygate in Heat 1. The course here is one of the most open tracks in DRL history, so the pilots need a smoother approach through each turn. Tony, take us through it.
Pilots launch through the Pentagon Gate with a sweeping left turn to the Swatch Gate. They make a vertical U-turn and climb to a right turn through the Sky Gate around the left field foul pole. Then it's the switchback through the Diamond Gate to the Square Gate. They cross the Diamond to the Truss Gate and around the right field pole back to the Pentagon Gate and the start of lap 2. At the end of lap 2, they pass through the Pentagon Gate and sweep around the light pole to the finish.
I think this is the best track that we've flown all year. There's a lot of really smooth sweeping corners.
It's a really big course and you have a lot of straightaways. So if you do a mistake during your turn, you're gonna lose a lot of spin during your straightaways.
Right off the launch, we're all crowding into one gate, followed by a really, really sharp turn. And I think there's gonna be a lot of mid-air situations, which can be a benefit or a curse.
Fluxy, the Swatch pilot this season, noted with Rory TK that he fed off of this crowd's energy.
Well, he's known to be a competitive pilot who loves the audience. He loves that energy, and when he can feel it, he comes alive. I think he did exactly that. I'm excited to see what he keeps doing for us today.
Color check confirmed. Colors look good. Arm your drones, please.
Our pilots and colors once again. Jet flies red, Duncan in white, Shaggy in orange, Fluxy, the winner of the last heat, red and white, Nurk, the defending world champion in green, and Moda flashing green. Semi-final 1, Heat 2. Another great start by Jet in red. He's first through. Duncan in white right there as well. Through the Swatch Gate, Jet and Duncan first and second as they fly to the Sky Gates.
Jet coming out like a rocket and looking to push it ahead.
A bit of a bobble from Duncan has let Fluxy back into this conversation. Jet continues to lead as they set up for the switchback. Jet and Duncan through the Square Gate. They'll cross the field, go through the Truss Gate, and then head up for the right field pole.
Look at Duncan pushing ahead. These two on top of each other right above.
Duncan in white, Jet in red, Fluxy in red and white. Those are your top 3.
Fluxy's pushing. He's going for it, Craig.
Here's the climb again, 115 feet. Jet putting in some speed.
Oh, look at Fluxy's pulling away.
Fluxy right there. He has moved into first.
Who's got the better dive? Fluxy's still doing it, Craig.
This is the switchback. They come out of it. Fluxy in red and white accelerates and increases his lead.
He's gained another gear.
They're around the right field pole. This is now Fluxy's to lose. The sweeping left turn towards the finish. And Fluxy is headed to the finals.
Man, what a run for him.
You guys are shaking now, baby. Woo!
Did he beat us?
Two colors ruled that heat, red and white. Jet and Red had a great start and the early lead with Duncan and White right behind. Fluxy and Red and White caught them at the start of lap 2 and passed them after the Skygate. Fluxy was faster through the switchback and pulled away the rest of the heat for his finals clinching win.
Fluxy, I know all these pilots are your friends, but you had some choice words for them just now. What were you saying?
They're shook, man. All these guys are shaking right now. They're scared. They know that I can compete on this stage, and it don't make me nervous. And all those guys in the pits are watching. These guys up here are scared. It's going to be a good night.
Well, you proved that so far. You've already clinched your spot in the final. What changed from the ranking rounds to today?
I kind of slept on it, watched some DVR, studied some lines, figured out where I could take some tighter lines, and I'm here today and making it happen.
Making it happen in a big way. Congratulations on clinching the finals.
Two incredible wins for Fluxy. He is our first and for the moment only pilot to clinch that coveted spot in the finals. Fluxy was a competitive gamer who learned to fly real drones through the DRL Flight Simulator. His incredible training ethic allowed him to rise to the highest ranks of professional drone racing, giving this Minnesota native the lifestyle he loves.
Growing up, I followed competitive esports. I always knew that I wanted to be a part of that kind of space. Then drone racing came along, and I saw this as something I could actually do. The sim taught me how to fly. The best learning tool is a simulator because you don't have to break anything. And if you crash, you press the reset button and you go again. You can't get that anywhere else other than the sim.
Welcome to the 2019 Swatch DRL Tryout.
So I went out to Vegas, played the DRL Tryouts tournament.
Tonight, we crowned the 2019 Sim Champion, who earns a $75,000 contract to race as the Swatch pilot in the upcoming DRL season. Fluxy clinches it.
Unbelievable. Fluxy taking the win.
So becoming a Swatch pilot flipped my life 180. It's given me the ability to quit my normal day job, do what I love. I get to play with drones every day, race them, break them. It's a beautiful thing. I love it.
Fluxy is on fire here in level 5, and he told Rowe the other pilots are shaking. Tony, is that your perception also?
I'd say it's more like they're shaking their heads. Don't get me wrong, Fluxy has flown 2 great heats, but he only beat Nurk by inches, and both Jet and Duncan have been up front at times. 6 heats is a lot of racing, so this is far from over.
7, 6,
Semi-final 1,
5,
heat
4,
3. All up, this crowd cheering and counting down in unison. Through the Swatch Gate, Duncan once again up in front as they climb to the Skygates.
Duncan, a very aggressive start, but look at Jet and Red pushing on him.
Duncan and Jet, 1-2. This is the switchback, the Diamond Gate.
Duncan taking the exits of these turns faster.
The Square Gate. Contact.
Fluxy hit the gate.
They cross over to the right side of the field. It is Duncan in front, Jet in second, Shaggy in third.
Look at Jet pressing. He's going to go for it every opportunity he can, 1 gate at a time, even if it's inch by inch.
On to lap number 2. They climb to the Skygate once again. Jet and Shaggy all right there. Jet tries for the pass. Duncan's through cleanly, trying to protect that lead, but Duncan hit a wire. Jet is moved into the front.
Big fumble from Duncan. That allows Jet to move into position, exactly what he was trying to do. Little by little, weasel his way in.
Jet's through the truss gate.
Shaggy's going for it.
And now it'll be 2 turns connected into one. A sweeping left turn into the finish.
Look at Shaggy.
Jet and Shaggy. Shaggy took himself out. And Jet wins heat number 3.
The signs of a champion, Craig. Jet knowing what he needs to do on this course. Take each element one at a time, shave a little bit of time off of each one, and press your way to the front of the pack. Nicely done from Jet.
Yes! This heat was Duncan's to lose, and he did.
Duncan had a great start, and he held a solid lead until the swatch gate on lap 2. Jet caught Duncan on the climb to the Sky Gate. Duncan overcorrected through the gate, giving Jet a slight lead. Duncan tried to get aggressive around the foul pole when he clipped the wire. That put Shaggy in second. Shaggy slowly reeled Jet in until he hit the light pole on the final turn, giving the two-time champ his first heat win of the night.
Jet, it came down to the end. There was a lot of back and forth. Which elements are helping you and which are kind of hurting you?
Yeah, absolutely. I had a really rough start there in the beginning, but I think I've found my stride. That diamond gate right there is a real killer, and you just got to hit it just right.
You are a former champion, so I have to ask, what are the goals for this level and the season?
Oh, it's get my championship back, man. That's my throne. I'm getting that back.
All right, the crowd likes it. Congratulations on your first heat win.
Rory's right. This crowd is definitely alive. A lot of Jet fans here at Chase Field. Fluxy we know is in the final. Jet, one win away from joining him. Only 3 pilots will advance to the Level 5 finals. We're 3 heats in with 3 to go, but 2 is the magic number. 2 wins, and you're in. Everyone else will face sudden death. Heat 4, next. This is DRL, the Drone Racing League. Welcome back to Level 5 Chase Field in Phoenix, Arizona. We're 3 heats into semifinal 1, and Fluxy already has 2 wins and a berth in the finals. Jet won Heat 3 and now is just 1 win away from avoiding sudden death.
Need one more. I need one more, and I'm in the finals. You launched early, by the way. Yeah, you took off early.
No, he didn't. They checked frame by frame, and he wasn't early.
I wanted to give you fingers, but I
You launched so hard, dude. I was like, what? Yo! If he's going, I'm going.
Duncan had the best start last heat, but Jet passed him through the Sky Gate. We've seen a lot of passes and crashes there. It's definitely one of the most critical elements on the course.
The Sky Gate is 115 feet above the field and turned away from the pilot's natural line. The goal is to minimize distance traveled while maximizing exit speed out of the gate. The ideal line has pilots finishing the climb as they roll right to accelerate through the gate. They need to travel far enough south to open up the angle of the gate so they can pass with a gentle arc. If they're still climbing through the gate, they reduce exit speed. If they fly too far south, they increase the distance traveled, which is slower. If they fly directly at the gate, they must make a harsh correction, which is slower, or risk hitting the gate.
Semifinals Group 1, Heat 4.
Tony, let's talk about Duncan, because Duncan has had the lead in every single heat. What are you seeing from him as to why he's either losing it or he can't finally get that win?
Well, Duncan's creating unforced errors here. He's making small mistakes. He's not setting up those turns just quite right. So that's what's holding him back. If he can get that right, he'll be unstoppable.
All these pilots have talked about feeding off the energy of the crowd, like we've seen Jet and Fluxy have. I mean, how's Duncan going to be able to use that energy?
Well, until he gets a win under his belt here, it's going to be tough for him to grab that energy, harness it, and use it against the other pilots. I think we're going to see something change. He's trending the right way, going from Heat 1, 2, and 3. So Heat 4 should be the magic one, considering the trends.
Our pilots and colors once again. Jet, the winner of the last heat, in red. Duncan, who we were just talking about, in white. Shaggy, who's been at the front, it seems, at every heat, flies orange. Fluxy, 2 wins already, red and white. Nerk, the defending world champion, green. And Moda, flashing green. Semi-final 1, Heat 4.
Whoa.
Nerk fell off the podium early. Everybody heads to the Pentagon Gate. Oh, it crashed again.
Shaggy.
You've got Duncan in front. Jet with a bit of a bobble through the swatch gate, but he's recovered. Duncan and Jet, 1-2.
A slight little bobble from Duncan that opened the door for Jet to push ahead. He's allowing these guys to gain on him.
Fluxy's fought his way into second. Jet bobbles again. Duncan, we've seen this story before. Duncan in first as they cross over to the right side of the field, around the right pole. They'll now head back to the Pentagon Gate and start lap number 2.
All right, he's got the lead. He cannot make these mistakes to allow these guys to capitalize on him. There you go, big bubble from Fluxy opens the door even more for Duncan.
Duncan through the Sky Gate. Now what can he do on the left side of the field? They'll round the left pole. This is the critical switchback. Through the Diamond Gate, over to the Square Gate, and Duncan is clean. They cross over to the right-hand side.
He's got an aggressive and smooth line so far. That's a little wide coming out of the square, but he seems okay.
Finishing moments and finishing meters. The sweeping turn, Fluxy pushing. Who's going to do it? Duncan takes heat 4. Well, we wondered how he tapped into the energy. There you go.
Thank you, Shaggy. You helped me. Thank you.
He did exactly that. There was the 4-3-2-1, and Duncan finally got his win. This was great for him.
Fourth time's a charm for Duncan.
Duncan launched hard and took the early lead with Jet pressing him around the left field foul pole and Fluxy pressing him through the switchback. This was the 4th heat in a row that Duncan held the lead early, but this time with a little help from Shaggy.
You got this, Duncan?
Duncan stayed clean for 2 full laps, keeping Fluxy and Jet at bay all the way to the finish.
Duncan, congratulations on your first heat win here in semis, but you waited till the 4th heat. What's been happening?
I'm just French, so I need some more time to get pumping, and now I'm ready to kill it.
All right, so now that you're warmed up, how do you continue this momentum? How do you harness this energy?
I'm going to try to do the same things that I did because it works, so do a good start and don't let anybody pass you.
All right, congratulations, and we'll be looking forward to your next few races.
Thank you.
That should be the plan. Duncan, like Jet, needs one more heat win to assure himself a spot in the final. As we take a look at our standings. After heat number 4, Fluxy still the only pilot to clinch his spot in the finals. Duncan and Jet each one step away.
Was it just you got this?
Yeah.
That was enough?
Yeah, it was enough. You know, sometimes it's just little things, but I knew that somebody was right behind me.
He was right behind
I was right on you, yeah. Come on, you don't need win. I need.
I want that seat right there. Oh, you're getting there. Second place isn't first.
Earlier this year, Fluxy, Jet, and 4 other pilots were the featured attraction at DRL's Formula E VIP party in New York City, which included a red carpet, immersive VR experiences, and of course, drone racing.
Thank you to everyone for coming to the 2019 Allianz DRL E-Prix party presented by BMW. Hello, Brooklyn! And this is a big night, ladies and gentlemen.
I just saw the most amazing lineup of drones zipping around this incredible space. Great music, great crowd, great vibe, lots of energy, really impressive. I didn't really know what I was in for. It's pretty intense.
The competition is heating up here in the desert. Fluxy's in the finals. Jet and Duncan are halfway there, but time is running out if they're going to avoid sudden death. Heat 5 coming up. This is DRL, the Drone Racing League. Welcome back to the DRL Allianz World Championship. We're in Phoenix for Level 5 Chase Field. So far, we've had 4 of the 6 regular heats from semifinal 1. And with each heat, the racing is getting more intense.
Dude, this is insaneness.
Yes.
What are we doing, man? What is going on?
These are the heats and the fights that we expected to see. We know Fluxy is headed to the finals, TK. He's got 2 heat wins. But let's talk about Jet and Duncan.
Copy that.
They've each got a heat win, which means with 2 heats left, they have to find a way to get that other one. Between the two, who's going to win the mind game?
Ooh, I'm going to give that one to Jet. He's got a little more experience than Duncan has. Now, these two fly different styles in their racing. Jet's a little more smooth. He pushes when he needs to. Duncan's always gung-ho all out. It's incredible what they're able to do. I'm excited to see what happens, but I'm giving it to Jet.
Packets are good. Locked on all 6. IR confirmed. Colors confirmed.
Let's roll through the pilots and colors another time. Jet in red, Duncan white, Shaggy orange, Fluxy, the 2-time heat winner, red and white. He's the Swatch pilot. Nurk, the defending world champ in green, and
Racing
Moda
in
in light
10,
green.
9, 8, 7,
Semifinal
6,
1,
5,
heat 5.
4,
6 up and away. Duncan once again first through the Pentagon gate. Jet in red right behind him. Jet in red making a push for that first spot.
He's going for it. Watch him do his technique. He said he wanted to take these gates little by little and gain a little ground, 1 inch at a time. He's going to try and do that here.
This is the switchback. They come out of it. Duncan with a better acceleration, but Jet closes the gap as they cross over to the right side of the field. It's Duncan in white, Jet in red. 1-2. Fluxy clawing his way back into this one, and Nurk's there as well.
Look at Jet, just little by little, reeling him in. Nurk's making a move.
It's Duncan in the lead through the Skygate. Fluxy right there.
Jet pressing.
Remember, if Duncan wins, he'll book his spot in the final. Jet needs a win as well. Here we go. The switch back another time, and Jet moves to the lead.
He's got it, Greg. He found his way to the front. He cannot let up. These guys are right on him.
Jet's got clean air around the right field pole. That sweeping left turn through the Pentagon gate.
Here comes Fluxy.
Oh, and Fluxy's trying to steal this one. Oh! Jet takes it back. Yes! Jet is going to the finals. What an amazing finish.
Jet has got this course down, Greg. To see a pilot have a strategy and a plan the way he has and execute it the way he's done is unbelievable. That's the sign of a champion and a veteran DRL racer.
We now have another example why Jet is a 2-time world champion. At different points in this heat, he was near the front, but it was that pass at the end to get in front of Fluxy that clinched it.
You know, Greg, it's not often that a pilot comes out with a plan and is able to execute it flawlessly each time. It's amazing for me to see this. Watch Jet as he finds a way out of these turns with a little more speed than Duncan, able to close that gap and reel him in little by little.
You talked about different styles. You always talk about different lines, and Jet seems to have found the best lines to allow him to pick up speed and accelerate when he needs to.
He really has. He's found a very good comfort level on this course, and it shows. He doesn't seem to be even bothered by the fact that another drone may be coming into his view here and there. He's continuing to press and find extra speed.
Jet in the front, it was Fluxy and Duncan and Nurk all right there. Here was the turn where Fluxy found that extra gear, but Jet took the win.
Jet, your strategy requires so much patience. Can you break that down for us?
Yeah, really, drone racing and any racing is just about that perfect run, right? So you got to just not make mistakes and make sure the rest of the guys hopefully do, and just squeak out every little detail.
Now, afterwards, it looks like the emotion that's coming through is relief. Why?
Yeah, I mean, we get 2 wins here. We're in the finals, so now I'm locked in. No worries. This last run's going to be practice. Oh, it feels so good.
Well, congratulations. You earned it.
The standings. After 5 heats, we now have 2 pilots who have assured themselves a spot in the final. Fluxy and 2-time world champion Jet. With 1 regular heat to go, Duncan still has a chance to join them.
I made it to the finals.
The 2019 season has been a rough ride for Jet. Now the two-time world champ looks like he's finally back in form.
It feels so good. You know, after missing the finals 3 times, to know I'm in it now, in front of a crowd. Oh, thank you to everybody.
We are in Seattle, Washington, at my parents' house. Sashimi? You don't have to worry about anything, and you just get to eat food and hang out and just chat. It's delicious. My mom is a very good cook. I very, very, very much enjoy eating Japanese food that she makes. My dad, he's always had a passion for cars. Every time I'm back in Seattle, we always visit the garage, check out the newest project that he's working on.
Little spaces to work on.
Okay, ready.
They always giggle about how they have a son that's on TV, and I think they like talking to their friends about it.
Yeah, it's a really good conversational piece. Oh, you know what my son does?
We're very proud of him. The job he had before this, he put his all into, and he's doing the same now with drone racing, and it shows. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Jet has his second win and joins Fluxy in the finals. If Duncan wins the next heat, he'll be the 3rd pilot in the finals, and we have no need for sudden death. Otherwise, 4 pilots will be there. The decisive Heat 6 next. This is DRL, the Drone Racing League. Welcome back to Level 5 here at Chase Field. It's now time for our final regular heat in semifinal number 1, and it really becomes Duncan versus the rest of the field.
Duncan, you got this. 1 more and you're in, and they're all out. And we don't have to worry about Nert.
Fluxy's in with his 2 wins. Jet's in with his 2 wins. Duncan's had his chances, but aside from that 1 heat that we talked about prior to that win, he just hasn't been able to seal the deal.
No, you're right. Duncan, I think we're going to see a little bit of his older style where he becomes super aggressive and pushes it even harder, knowing that this is the last heat to make it happen. I'm expecting to see an all-out Duncan.
Semifinals, Group 1, Heat 6.
Locked on 6, cockpit is ready.
Locked on 6, cockpit ready.
Let's go through the pilots and
line.
colors again.
Ready for arm check.
Jet is in red. Duncan, with a win, will eliminate any need for sudden death. He flies white. Shaggy in orange, Fluxy red and white, Nurk in green, and Moda flashing green.
7, 6.
Semifinal
5,
1,
4.
Heat 6. Duncan explodes off the start platform. He's in front, followed by Jet in red.
There's that aggressive Duncan. He's pushing.
It's Duncan, and then you've got Fluxy.
Oh, Jet hit the gate.
Jet's out. Duncan once again up in front.
If Duncan doesn't start gaining extra ground, he's going to find himself in trouble with Fluxy hot on his tail.
Oh, Shaggy hit the square gate. Duncan in white. Fluxy in the red and white drone in second. All that matters, if we're not going to have sudden death, is a Duncan win.
Duncan's got to make every one of these turns super crisp. He cannot make a mistake. These guys will capitalize on it.
They are on to lap number 2. We are just getting word that because Duncan launched early, he will be assessed a 2-second penalty. So if it stays this close, we are definitely having sudden death.
Oh, little fumble there. Look at Fluxy moving ahead. Duncan realizes it.
Fluxy and Duncan in that fight, but remember, Duncan will be penalized at the end.
He's got to gain extra ground on his turn. Fluxy's doing some amazing stuff.
Fluxy takes the final win.
Woo! Thank you. Yes. Sudden death it is for you boys.
Fluxy doing a great job pushing Duncan to his limits and putting him into a position where he has to fight even harder.
Is it?
What happened?
4 stars.
You did? Yeah. I told you were doing it.
Heat 6 was a perfect example of how the smallest differences can be decisive with this caliber of pilot.
Duncan led the entire first lap with Fluxy close behind. Then at the switchback on lap 2, Duncan had just a slight bobble through the diamond gate, allowing Fluxy to catch him at the square gate and pass him right after. The two were side by side around the right field pole. Now watch their different lines through the Pentagon gate. Fluxy approached wider, which allowed him to carry just a little more speed out of the gate and gave him the edge into the finish. Just brilliant.
Yeah, baby! Duncan, I can see that you're disappointed. Tell me why.
I don't know, like I'm playing not too bad, but like Fluxy just get faster, so I don't know. I don't know what I have to do, but like I have to go fast and don't crash.
Let's talk about that. What's the strategy for getting your head in the right place with this heat of sudden death ahead of you?
Like, I don't really have strategy. I'm just gonna go fast and see if somebody passes me, and if somebody passes me, I will try to pass him.
All right, well, good luck to you in sudden death.
Thank you.
With the regular heats in the rear view mirror, let's take a look at the standings and set up for sudden death. Fluxy, definitely dominant in this semifinal. 3 different heat wins. Jet advances to the final as well with his 2 wins. Duncan got that win, but wasn't able to find the critical second one. So that means we will see Duncan, Nurk, Moda, and Shaggy in sudden death. Here in the DRL Allianz World Championship, the pilots fly identical Racer 4s. But imagine a competition where the fleet of drones fly themselves. DRL has partnered with Lockheed Martin on the Alpha Pilot Challenge to see which team can program the Racer AI to win autonomous races.
This was the goal of AIR. Create autonomous drones that could race at high speeds through a race course. And we really accomplished that here.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Air World Championship. Tonight's winning team will win $1 million.
What we saw here today was amazing in terms of so many teams finishing the course at high speed. It's a huge evolution from where we were just a couple months ago.
At the start of the year, the drones were hobbling along, barely getting to the first gate, learning how to hover and fly forward. It was small steps, but very quickly, our 4th event, we're seeing speeds 80% of Gab during practice. It's remarkable.
When I launched this program for Lockheed Martin, I had no idea what to expect in terms of baseline performance. And I'm absolutely floored that we have multiple teams completing the course in 10, 15, 20 seconds by December.
MavLab is the winner! Congratulations to Team MavLab.
Is this happening?
For winning $1 million.
And this is just the beginning. This is only the first season of AIR. And where we'll go from here, you'll continue to see that exponential climb.
Gab 707, we're coming for you! We need to find out if MavLab's drone can beat our human pilot, Gab 707. And Gab 707 screams across the finish.
And congratulations to you on staying the fastest on Earth.
We know 2 of the 3 pilots who will advance to the finals of Level 5 Chase Field, Fluxy and Jet. The winner of the next heat will join them, with the other 3 pilots eliminated. Sudden death, next. The Drone Racing League, brought to you by Allianz, global leaders in asset management, investments, and insurance. By the U.S. Air Force, Aim High, and by Swatch. Welcome back to the DRL Allianz World Championship. We're in Phoenix, Arizona for Level 5 Chase Field. We've arrived at sudden death. Jet and Fluxy have already advanced to the finals. They get to watch from the pilot's lounge.
All right, go race.
Yes, let's do it.
Now the other 4 race one last heat, and only the winner advances to the finals.
Talk about pressure, Craig.
Come on, you can do it.
Duncan knows he could have avoided this without that mistake in Heat 6.
1 spot. Only 1 spot. Mine. I need this. I'm Mr. Sudden Death, right?
Shaggy is Mr. Sudden Death. He's been in it every single level he's raced in DRL.
You will not get into my head. There's no way. I'm not Benny.
Trying.
all these guys, TK, want to avoid sudden death because the odds are not in their favor if they're in this heat.
No, not at all. Look, Duncan's going to try and pass anybody who gets in his face, which means he's more susceptible to mistakes that way. Shaggy's been a sleeper. I think he's going to show up right now when it counts the most going into sudden death. I'm watching that orange drone to see if he can make it happen.
Let's give you the 4 pilots and the 4 colors. Duncan in white, Nurk, the defending world champ in green, Moda, flashing green, and Shaggy in orange.
9, 8, 7,
Semi-final
6,
1,
5,
sudden
4.
death. Whoa, Duncan closes platform. He's through the Pentagon gate first. We've already got a drone down, and that's Moda.
Oh man, little mistakes. Duncan's got quite the lead right now. Look at Shaggy. He's got to find the opportunity to gain some extra ground.
Duncan in first, Shaggy in second. Oh, Duncan hits the diamond gate. He is done. No, he's not done, but that gives Shaggy the lead and that critical first position.
It ain't over yet. Shaggy's got to stay in the air. Yes, he has clean air, but look at Nurk, the reigning champ. He's going to be pressing for him, trying to find an extra gear.
Shaggy's known as the sudden death vet. This is the 10th sudden death he's been in as a DRL pilot. He allowed Nurk to get a little close there. They set up for the switchback one final time.
He cannot afford any bit of mistakes or variation from his line. He's got to make every one of these turns super crisp.
Shaggy crosses over through the truss gate, the right field pole. This will be the final left sweeping turn. Shaggy's through the Pentagon gate, around the light pole, and Shaggy is headed to the finals.
Shaggy did it, Craig. Exactly what I expected. That sleeper to come out of him when it counts the most. What a run.
Of the 4 pilots in sudden death, 3 made unforced errors in the first half lap.
The pressure got to them. First, Nurk flubbed the launch. He recovered quickly but fell to last place. Right in front of him, Moda clipped the Pentagon gate, taking himself out. Then Duncan had a solid lead over Shaggy when he miscalculated the entrance to the switchback and hit the diamond gate, ending his night. That put Shaggy well in front. Nurk made a valiant effort to catch him on the final stretch, but it was too little, too late. Shaggy's moving on.
Yes! Woo! Shaggy, you're approaching the diamond gate in second place. You see Duncan hit it. What's going through your head?
That was like almost the same feeling as just winning the heat, because I knew that it was a battle between him and me. And yeah, seeing him crash into that while chasing him was like a relief. I knew that Nurk was behind me, but I had some margin on him, so it was just finish and take it.
The final standings of semi-final 1 show 3 pilots advancing. We knew Fluxy and Jet were there, but Shaggy proves his worth. The sudden death vet gets it done, and he'll head to the finals as well. And that does it for semi-final 1. Please join us for the finals of Level 5 Chase Field and keep up with DRL all year long on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. For Tony Niddle, Rory McKernan, and our entire crew, I'm Craig Hummer. Thanks for watching. This is DRL, the Drone Racing League. Tonight, the last 2 level champions take on several of the top veterans in DRL across a vast and unforgiving course.
Welcome to Phoenix for more semifinals action. Time is running out on the 2019 season. It's do or die for several of these pilots right now.
This is drone racing. This is DRL. Welcome to the 2019 DRL Allianz World Championship, the premier international drone racing circuit. We have ventured to the southwest for Level 5 Chase Field. Our second set of pilots are preparing for their semifinal. All are eager, but only 3 will earn their way to the finals. Veteran pilot Gab 707 just won level 4, putting him in striking distance of points leader Vanover in the overall season standings.
Winning level 5 would be quite an accomplishment because that would tie me for the World Championship. You know, this is my year, I have what it takes, and I really want to make it happen.
Nub, last season's Rookie of the Year, has been knocking on the door this season, but has struggled to win critical heats.
Lots of training to prepare for level 5. I've gone out every single day, flown as much as I possibly could. I've practiced the elements of the course, and I'm hoping that I can take the win on this one with as much effort that I've put into it.
Vanover has a reputation of being the hardest working pilot in DRL, winning 2 of the 4 levels this year. But he's very aware there are 2 levels he didn't win.
The motivation that I have to do well here because of the live audience and the people I know who are going to be here. I want to dominate this race. I've trained so hard. This is the race of the season for me.
Just like in semifinal 1, these pilots will race 6 heats. 2 wins, and you automatically head to the finals. Whoever falls short of that 2-win total goes to sudden death, where only the winner can be assured of moving on. Hello, everybody. Alongside drone racing pilot Tony Nittle, I'm Craig Hummer. Tony, the first time in America these pilots get to race in front of a live audience and to a man. They said they want to tap into that energy.
I'm so excited, Greg. The first time DRL's had a live race in the States, and the pilots couldn't be more excited. They've been training harder and harder in the past weeks, prepping for one of the most nerve-wracking races of the season.
Our top 2 pilots in the overall standings will meet here in semifinal 2. Vanover currently has the inside track on this year's World Championship, but don't count out Gab 707 or Nurk. Since Gab 707 began flying, he has thrived on his consistency and his calculations. But now he needs to embrace the simple need to race.
You know, speaking of Gab 707, earlier he told me he's been working on switchbacks and hairpin turns like crazy to hone those skills. He's also very excited about the live crowd, says that that's what makes this all worth it, the fans.
Well, his win at the last level was an emotional one, so it'll be interesting to see if he can carry that momentum here. Speaking of emotion, TK, the pressure here for these pilots is palpable.
This is it, man. This is it. Crazy. It's gonna be a tough race. Oh yeah.
So many reasons why, Craig. The caliber of pilots, they're getting toward the end of the season, and this crowd. These are also distractions, so they need to push them out of their minds to focus on carving the ideal line through every element on this track.
Each heat, 2 half-mile loops through 14 gates, positioned both high and low, crisscrossing the entire stadium. Let's go through our pilots and colors for semifinal number 2. Gab 707 in yellow. Vanover, you won't miss it, the disco flashing white drone. Nub in purple, McStrolly in blue, Wild Willie in pink,
Racing in
and
10,
Rafa,
9,
blue and yellow.
8, 7, 6,
Semifinal
5,
2, Heat
4,
1. Gab with that front platform, he's first to the Pentagon gate, but it's Nub right there as well, followed by Vanover in the flashing drone.
Nub cooking and pushing ahead. Look at Gab 707 though.
Nub was first through the Sky Gate. They'll drop down after they go around the left field pole. This is the first switchback. Nub sets up first, followed by Gab and then Vanover.
Gab doing a great job staying right behind and waiting for the right moment.
They've crossed over to the right side. They'll go around the right field pole, back to the Pentagon gate, and start lap 2. It's Nub, followed by Gab 707 in yellow, Vanover in the flashing drone, a distant third.
The composure that Gab has right now is incredible. Look at him go.
Gab tried to go for the pass, but Nub holds him off.
Gab 707's just waiting for the right opportunity to give that little extra oomph to make the pass.
Switch back again, Gab's going for it. Gab's made the pass. They're on the right-hand side. Gab and Nub, neck and neck.
This is incredible, Greg.
This is the sweeping turn. Nub goes lower, but Gab looks like he took it.
Who was it? I don't know. Oh my God. No idea.
That is too close to call.
What a race! The composure of Gab to stay right behind him, waiting for the right moment, and then push when it counts, Greg.
I didn't see anybody, but I don't think you saw anybody either. Damn it! Yellow. Woo!
And Gab gets the win.
Dude.
That was unbelievable.
I see that studying has been paying off, huh? He's been studying my lines.
Heat 1 was all about Gab versus Nub.
Nub took the early lead with Gab right behind. They stayed like that until the switch back on lap 2. Gab was faster through the square gate and made the pass crossing the field toward the truss gate. Nub stayed close behind until the final turn. Nub was faster exiting the Pentagon gate, but Gab was faster around the light pole, beating Nub to the finish by less than a drone length.
Who was it? I don't know. Oh my God!
All right, Gab, we're all smiles now that we're watching the instant replay, but you got to tell me, how difficult is it to maintain your line when you're trading the lead back and forth with another pilot?
I just try to, filter that out. I just need to focus on the track. This is what makes me go fast. It's not really racing Nub, Nub laid down that superb heat. He's really been studying my lines, I gotta say. But, I got him back at the end. That was all good.
In the ranking rounds, you set the course record. You shattered your own record. What's the difference between that and now having the live audience in the house?
Energy. Thank you guys for being here. Woo!
Thanks, Gab. Gab, able to secure the first heat win, which means he only needs one more to assure himself a spot in the final. Everyone else is just going to have to improve a little bit.
What's the lap on that? 1:10.7. What? 1:10.7. Oh, slow. Oh, slow, so slow.
You suck, Gab.
Gab went like 2 seconds off that time. He better not.
For more on our Heat 1 winner, let's join the third member of our team, Rory McKernan. Thanks, Craig. To Tony's point about the live audience, Gab absolutely is excited, but there's an X factor. He told me that every once in a great while, he'll hear his name called out and it'll break his concentration, and I am certainly assuming there will be many people in this crowd at Chase Field calling out that name tonight. He was on fire in the ranking rounds, setting the world record and then breaking it. So if he can harness the energy of the crowd and not let it break his concentration, he could be tracking down another level win.
Dude, it had to be a one prop difference between us. I saw him pass me 2 turns away from the finish line. I thought that I had him. I thought that I could take the line to pass him in this final turn, and I closed the 10-foot gap down to less than a foot, but it wasn't enough, and it was a really good race. I need to do the same thing again and hope that he makes a mistake.
Gab takes the first heat in a photo finish and is halfway to automatically qualifying for the finals. Nub, Vanover, and the others still have plenty of time. Heat 2, next. The Drone Racing League, brought to you by Allianz, global leaders in asset management, investments, and insurance. By the U.S. Air Force, Aim High, and by Swatch. Welcome back to the DRL Allianz World Championship. We're in Phoenix, Arizona for the semifinals of Level 5 Chase Field. Gab 707 won the first heat and needs only one more win to advance to the finals without having to race sudden death. Nub was just inches behind Gab into the finish.
Oh, that was so stressful.
You guys are really close. I wasn't sure who was going to take it.
That was, as soon as he got past me, I was like, You got me back though, right there, and then I got you back like in the last second.
I heard you both going like, oh. I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah. I don't like that type of racing. I just want to win.
We are getting set for heat number 2, and Tony, this course seems to have a little bit of something for everybody.
Pilots launch through the Pentagon Gate with a sweeping left turn to the Swatch Gate. They make a vertical U-turn and climb to a right turn through the Sky Gate around the left field foul pole. Then it's the switch back through the Diamond Gate to the Square Gate. They cross the Diamond to the Truss Gate and around the right field pole back to the Pentagon Gate and the start of lap 2. At the end of lap 2, they pass through the Pentagon Gate and sweep around the light pole to the finish.
It's very much wide open. Like, it feels like the biggest course that we've ever done. It's seeming like it's gonna be a really fun track, but also really hard because one little move in the wrong direction and you lost.
I'm really excited about the Swatch Gate. It's gonna be a very aggressive line I take up there like I did in levels 3 and 4, and I really have been finessing that line back home in practice. That's probably gonna be my favorite part of the track.
It's a track that actually doesn't really have, you know, gotcha elements. It's just about how perfectly you can get that line every time.
In terms of Gab, he said he knows exactly what his line should be on this course.
This is a great track for Gab. It's very open and flowy where they need to carry maximum momentum through the turns. It's also unforgiving in that any extraneous movement slows you down and keeps you out of the lead.
6 pilots. Let's take you through the colors. Gab 707 in yellow, Vanover, the flashing disco drone, Nub in purple, McStrolly blue, Wild Willie flashing pink, and Rafa blue and yellow.
7, 6,
Semi-final 2, heat 2. 6 up and away, Rafa with a very good start. Gab's gone down, Nub's gone down. Vanover and McStrolly are 1-2. Willie in third.
Carnage off the line. Look at Vanover. He took advantage of that situation and pushed his way to the front of the pack.
Vanover definitely the beneficiary at the moment. McStrolly in blue right there. Wild Willie in the flashing pink in third. Vanover with the lead.
Vanover's gaining some extra ground through some of these turns, but look at, oh!
Gab is done!
But look at McStrolly clawing his way up.
Both Nub and Gab are out. Vanover up to the Sky Gate.
McStrolly's making a move.
The second time, McStrolly trying to keep this interesting.
Oh, look at that drop for McStrolly. He's trying to take it.
He tried to find some extra speed. He does close the gap. They're through the switchback, crossing over to the right-hand side of the course. They'll go through the Truss Gate, and Vanover will round the right pole and head back to that Pentagon Gate, which starts the sweeping left. Vanover in position, and he will do it. He takes heat number 2.
Solid run from Vanover. Craig took advantage of the mistakes from the other pilots in the very beginning. Capitalized on that, found his way to the front of the pack, and didn't let go of it. A nice run for Vanover.
The first turn of that race was decisive.
Gab was first off the blocks, but he approached the Pentagon Gate a little high. He dropped to clear the gate, but hit the ground. At the same time, Nub and Rafa tapped. Nub was out, while Rafa flew on. That put Vanover in the lead for good. McStrolly got close at the Sky Gate on lap 2, but Vanover pulled away at the second switchback and took his first heat win.
Vanover, you've been making waves this entire season as a rookie. What does it mean to you to be competing here on the big stage of DRL?
What's up, everybody? It means everything to me, right? This is exactly why I'm here. My dream was to race on a stage like this ever since I saw drone racing for the first time, and I'm here. It's absolutely amazing. This is a dream come true for me. I'm living in the moment, and I'm loving every second of it.
I'm used to seeing you lead from the front in the first heat, but you said you were biding your time. Tell fans at home what you meant.
Yeah, so I basically decided in that first heat to kind of start a little bit back and just watch what the leaders were going to do. See, where they were taking their lines. It's really hard when you're flying. You can't study what the other pilots in your group are doing. Gab was really fast yesterday, and I couldn't really see his flying because I was flying. So I just was kind of studying what they were doing, seeing where they were going to go fast and go slow, and then I decided in heat 2 to pick it up.
Congratulations on your first heat win.
Vanover noted Gab, who's nicknamed the Professor at times. Well, Vanover, certainly a professor in training. Vanover equals Gab 707 with 1 heat win each. They are each now 1 heat win away from moving on to the finals.
Good run.
Thanks, Ben.
That was some fancy driving you did there, Big.
I want to see power whip, but that'll do.
What happened to you two?
Midair off the start.
That was you two I saw go down?
It's okay, you got a free win. It's okay.
I'm good, dude. I studied YouTube for that first race. That's all I wanted to do.
In that last heat, Tony McStrolli was able to gain ground on Vanover around the left field pole on both laps. Take us through this critical element.
The U-turn around the left field pole is a high-speed maneuver requiring smooth and precise control. The keys are making a single smooth turn while timing the descent to optimize speed. Pilots should maintain elevation after exiting the Skygate. They roll right with slight right yaw to begin the turn as they approach the pole. They do not pitch up at all, which causes them to descend as they turn, maximizing speed. They time the turn to apex even with the pole so they can accelerate as they roll back to straight flight, continuing the descent. Descending too early reduces momentum through the turn, which is slower. Turning too early causes either a longer line or a sharper turn around the pole, both of which are slower. Any extra movements on the controller sticks slow the drone down.
Vanover and Gab have already gotten on base here at Chase Field with 1 win apiece, while Nub and Willie are 0 for 2. They all need 2 wins to automatically advance. Their next chance coming up. This is DRL, the Drone Racing League. Welcome back to Phoenix, Arizona for the DRL Allianz World Championship. We're in the midst of semifinal 2 here at level 5 Chase Field. Gab 707 and Vanover each have a heat win, which means they're 1 win away from moving on to the finals automatically. Anyone who doesn't get 2 wins will find themselves in sudden death. There are still 4 regular heats left, so the story remains unwritten for all 6 pilots. One of the biggest challenges is not the skill to fly the course. They all have that. It's being able to clear their minds of being on center stage in front of thousands of fans. For more on this, let's go down to Rory.
Welcome to the cockpit, the beating heart of any DRL event. Now, obviously, this is an impossible environment to recreate in training. So pilots have to get used to the lights and the cameras and the live crowd here at Chase Field as quickly as possible if they want to succeed. Some thrive on it, rising to the occasion, letting it fuel their performances, but some crumble under the pressure the moments that the lights and cameras click on. To be a champion in the DRL, you have to be able to block it all out the moments the goggles come down.
Thanks, Rory. To the best of my knowledge, this is the largest crowd ever for a drone race, and that takes some getting used to.
Absolutely, they've all dreamed of this night, but now that it's here, they have to manage it carefully or it'll get in the way of the racing.
Speaking of racing, you've said the key to this track in particular is exit speed out of each turn.
Right, the physics of racing cause the exit speed to be much more critical than entrance speed. To achieve this, pilots want a late apex in their turns, which means the sharpest part of the turn comes early, so they can begin accelerating sooner for maximum exit speed.
So far tonight, Gab and Vanover have done the best with this.
Nub was right there with Gab on Heat 1, but don't count out Willie and the others. They're all capable.
Let's take you through the pilots and colors again. Gab 707 in yellow, Vanover, the disco drone, Nub in purple, McStrolli in blue, Wild
Racing
Willie flashing
10,
pink, and
9,
Rafa, blue
8,
and yellow.
7, 6,
Semi-final
5,
2, Heat 3. 6 pilots engaged. It's Vanover first through the...
Rafa's down.
Well, it's right, because we go through the swatch gate, and we've got Wild Willie out in front as they climb to the Sky Gate with Vanover in second.
Look at Vanover pressing to get ahead.
They turn the left field pole. Wild Willie sets up first for the switchback. Vanover right there behind him.
Wild Willie has to take these turns exactly precise to keep Vanover at bay.
Wild Willie, one of the true veterans of this sport. He's been in it since basically the beginning. And now he's proving why he's continued to come back year after year. A great surge right there from Wild Willie up to the Sky Gate.
He's gaining some extra ground here, but watch out for Vanover. He's creeping up on him.
Vanover's got some moves. We've seen that already. But Willie showcasing his skill set as well. He's through
through the switchback a second time cleanly, crossing over to the right-hand side through the truss gate, and he's continuing to dominate this heat. He'll make the final sweeping left TK, and this heat was all Wild Willie. He wins heat 3.
Wow. Wow. I couldn't catch him.
Suck it, Captain Sparkles!
Boom. Wild Willie was locked and loaded in that heat, Craig. What a run from him.
That is what I'm talking about.
Escapes a little bit of chaos in the beginning, gets himself up at the front, and doesn't look back.
Wild Willie may have just had the best heat of his professional career.
Willie took the lead exiting the first swatch gate and never looked back. Notice how aggressively he climbs through the gate, propelling his ascent to the sky gate. Vanover got close through the first switchback, but it wasn't enough. By the final turn, Willie had amassed a large lead and took the easy win.
Suck it, Captain Sparkles!
Wild Willie, I know you were joking, but a minute ago you said, well, I'm coming out of retirement, it seems. What did you mean?
Oh, you know, I've been struggling a bit, especially on this track. I've been trying to pick my times up, and I really try to push it. And here I am, man. It paid off.
It did pay off, certainly, and I'm told that all the guys in the bullpen were pulling for you. What does it mean to you that the other pilots have your back?
Oh, that's awesome, man. It's great. We're all great friends. It's awesome to have the other pilots on my side.
All right, congratulations on your first heat win. I'll let you get back to it.
Thank you.
Wild Willie, not only a fan favorite, but a pilot favorite as well. As we take a look at the standings after the first 3 heats, and with that win, Wild Willie sets the course record, 108.5 seconds. He equals Vanover's heat win and Gab's heat win, which now with 3 heats remaining, 3 pilots still with the best chance to clinch.
I was so frustrated, man. I couldn't do anything. I tried all the lines, everything. He must have started strong.
Oh, course winner!
Seriously, what?
Unofficially.
That's how the scoreboard says. I would like to give a shout out to my sponsor, Gab 707, for laying down amazing lines, and Nick Charlie for videotaping them and giving them to me. This is Gab's worst fear, right here. Sorry, Gab.
Wild Willie is a longtime veteran of DRL. Both he and Gab 707 had their first race at level 4 in the 2016 season. For most of that time, Willie was something of the class clown. But this year, he's added serious ambition to his focus on fun.
Last season was extremely hectic for me. Finishing my aerospace engineering degree was really, really tough. I was so ecstatic to graduate and pursue what I love with everything I have. This year, I have really got my heart in it, and I am in it to win it. I've been trying to figure out how to focus, and I've done a lot more to really kind of stay calm. All of drone racing is mental. It's the mental part that really allows you to do it confidently and in a manner that's gonna get you to the finish line in front of someone else.
Wild Willie takes the win.
I know how to fly these drones.
My bestest of friends, enemy.
I know how to fly the courses. I can do them just as fast as everyone else.
Woo!
I feel really, really confident with my piloting abilities now.
All right, now it's the not fun part, calming down again. Woo! Can't fly all jittery, doesn't work. Did not work.
Just like you said, TK, putting aside the excitement so he can focus on the racing. All right, the drones are almost ready. So far, 3 heats and 3 different winners. What should we expect now?
There's a lot of emotion in the cockpit right now, so consistency might be an issue. Whoever strings together turn after turn with minimal inputs on the controller sticks and without distraction is going to win, assuming they can get through the first turn without a midair.
Easier said than done.
8, 7,
Semifinal 2,
5,
Heat 4.
hop off the podium, took Nub out the race.
Meanwhile, Gab 707, you've got McStrolli and Vanover's now moved into second behind Gab.
Look at Gab 707 and Vanover. Oh, midair.
Willie has now gone out as well. Gab 707, Vanover looking for that second heat win, which would put them automatically into the finals.
Gab 707 telling Vanover, take a lesson from behind me right now as he goes through this course.
School is in session. The professor out in front. The start of lap number 2. Gab 707 in yellow. Vanover, the flashing disco drone, in second.
Gab's on another level right now. He's studying these turns and all these gates. He knows how to take them the fastest, and he's proving that.
And he's told us it's all about the line for him. He calls it flow. And when he feels the flow, he feels like no one can beat him. Crossing over to the right-hand side. He'll go through the truss gate, moments away from clinching his spot in the final. He needs to stay mistake-free. The sweeping left turn. Gab books his ticket to the final, winning heat
I
number
couldn't
4.
catch. I was right there and I couldn't do anything.
That's what I'm talking about.
What a solid run from Gab 707. He has methodically calculated these turns, stringing them together, the exit of one, the entrance to the next, getting himself the victory.
That feels good. That feels awesome.
I was the same distance from him the entire race.
That heat started with some chaos.
Nub slid off the start podium early. Clearly it was unintentional, and he tried to save it, but flipped upside down and was out. And Willie was pressing McStrolli for third when they tapped, and Willie smacked into the Skygate.
Then Professor Gab taught a masterclass.
Gab was first off the start through the Pentagon Gate. By the time they were at the first Skygate, Gab had a solid lead over second place Vanover. Vanover tried to rein him in the rest of the heat, but instead, Gab slowly pulled away for his finals clinching win.
Gab, for fans who didn't get to see your previous level win, it was very emotional for you. Why does this mean so much to you?
You know, across all these seasons of DRL I've been on, I've been shut down so many times. Every time I knew I could do it, and I was just, that little detail that didn't quite work out, and felt so good to finally get it.
You made some changes in your life. Your hair getting let down was a representation of that. For people that don't know, what are the changes you made?
I think my approach towards racing has quite changed. I thought I was doing, mental mistakes. It turned out I was, my whole mental approach to the racing was wrong, and I sort of turned that around. The hair is down now because that sort of brings me back to my roots, playing hard heavy metal and rock. So, this is my element now.
Well, it's paying off. Congratulations on clinching the finals.
Hair down, the results have skyrocketed. Gab 707, the only pilot in GRL history never to miss a final. He now will head to his 16th of his career. Vanover and Wild Willie still need a win to join him.
Got to figure out these launches. So I had a really great launch, but I didn't do it consistently that last heat. So, we're starting farther back on the launch podium, so we can't tilt as much. So you have to change your line coming off the podium. On top of that, this track is it's wide open, so it's full throttle the entire time. No places to make up time whatsoever, especially when you're behind someone like Gab or Nub or something like that. When they're on their line, you can't catch them. When anyone's on their line, you can't catch them. It's not my style track in that case. I like being able to make up time incrementally. You can't do it on this track, really. So it means you got to launch hard and fly a smooth race and never make a mistake.
Gab 707 is the first to book his ticket to the finals. Vanover and Willie are halfway there, but with just 2 regular heats remaining, time is running out for them and the others. Heat 5, next. This is DRL, the Drone Racing League. Welcome back to the DRL Allianz World Championship. We are moments away from heat number 5 of semifinal number 2 here at Level 5, Chase Field. Gab 707 has booked his spot in the finals with his second win. Vanover has a win, Wild Willie has a win, and they have a couple more heats to join Gab.
Yeah, Nub has to shake off that crash at the start of the last heat and focus on the next.
All right, be happy, be happy, be happy. Don't think about the dumb mistakes.
Vanover isn't used to trailing anyone for an entire heat.
I got to figure out how to get off the blocks quicker.
Something.
When you're behind him, you can't do anything. I was the same distance as you the entire race. That's what's frustrating. This same distance.
We were close on lap 1.
Yep.
Racing in DRL is pilot-centric. For more on this, let's go down to Rory.
Thanks, Craig. A note for viewers at home about another thing that sets the DRL apart. That is that they dreamt up, designed, and created this fleet of Racer 4 drones that you see being flown this evening by the pilots. What that does is creates spec racing. That means that all the pilots are racing the exact same machine, which showcases pilot skill and not just how fancy your drone is.
Thanks, Ro. And TK, this is huge.
It really is, Craig. Every drone has identical capability, so the only way to win is actually flying better. They need to think 2 turns ahead, so the exit of one sets up the entrance to the next. With the quality of competition here, this means a single lapse of judgment or execution can lose them a race.
Let's take you through the pilots and the colors you'll see here in semifinal number 2. Gab 707 in yellow, Vanover the disco drone, Nub in purple, McStrolly blue, Wild Willie flashing pink,
Racing
and
in
Rafa
10,
blue and yellow.
9, 8, 7, 6,
Semifinal 2,
5,
Heat
4.
5. Gab and Vanover have best start so far, and Vanover not disappointing here. He is in the lead as they climb to the Sky Gate, but he's got Nub and Gab chasing him.
Look at Gab in striking distance as he waits for the right time, coming around the pole.
They go around the left field pole, setting up for this switchback. It's been critical in every single heat we've seen. Vanover finding some good speed as he exits.
I'm watching Gab do these turns to see him creep up, and I'm waiting to see if Vanover's going to get a little extra ground and keep him at bay.
If Vanover can win, he'll clinch a spot in the final, but we're only starting lap number 2. Vanover climbs again, Gab right there.
An aggressive turn from Vanover as he goes up, and that allows Gab 707 to reel in just a little bit, but a little slight wobble from Gab out of that turn.
Yeah, and that wobble cost him some distance. Vanover through the switchback yet again, maintaining that cushion. Gab in second, Nub in third. Vanover's crossed over to the right side. He'll round the right field pole, head back to the Pentagon Gate, and make this final sweeping turn. And Vanover, it is indeed. Vanover headed to the
Vanover with a good run out of heat number 5. He was smooth when he needed to be, and he threaded these turns just beautifully. Nice run from Vanover to get the win.
We could call this heat Vanover's revenge.
This time, Vanover was first off the blocks with Gab in second. Gab pressed the entire heat to catch Vanover, but in a reversal of fortune from last heat, Vanover slowly pulled away to take his finals clinching win.
Yes! Vanover, it didn't look as if your line changed much, so how do you explain such a dominant performance in this heat?
I hate how fast Gab launches, so I showed him I can launch faster. I've trained so hard for that. I saved my Ace of Spades card until right there. That felt great. I knew after the heat before this that, we were the same distance the entire time. Our line's absolutely identical. Not only did I start better, though, I think I had an even better line through there. I just tried to gap him, and that's what I did.
Earlier in the season, you had some dominant performances where you were ahead by multiple heats. Are you finding it difficult to be closer with the other racers?
Oh yeah, this track is not my style. It's a very wide open track, meaning we're really high on the throttle the entire race. Not many chances to catch up and make time. So you really have to focus and think about what you're about to do next before each heat. You can't start thinking of, okay, how do I make up time during the race? You got to do it before the race.
Well, now you can start thinking about the finals too. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Vanover gets props for the win. I've never won the World Series of Poker, but he maybe should have saved that ace for the finals, where he knows he will see Gab. But Gab 707 and Vanover definitely are moving on. With one regular heat to go in semifinal number 2, Wild Willie still has a chance to clinch and eliminate any need for sudden death. Gab and Vanover have clinched their spots in the finals. If Wild Willie wins this next heat, he'll join them and will have no sudden death. If he doesn't, 4 pilots will be there. The final regular heat coming up. This is DRL, the Drone Racing League. Welcome you back to the second semifinal of Level 5 Chase Field. Time now for the final regular heat. 3 pilots from each semifinal group advance to the finals. Gab and Vanover have clinched. That means 1 spot is left. Wild Willie has 1 heat win, so if he wins this race, he'll join them and we will have no sudden death. If anyone else wins this heat, then 4 pilots head to sudden death, where only the winner will advance, and everyone else is done for this level.
This is Willie versus the field. Gab and Vanover want to win to get the best start position in the finals. Nub, McStrawley, and Rafa want to win to ensure there's a sudden death. And of course, Willie wants to win to advance without having sudden death. The pressure is extremely high for him, to say the least.
The nervousness seems evident on the face of Willie. Our colors, once again. Gab 707 flies yellow, Vanover, the flashing white drone, Nub in purple, McStrawley blue, Wild Willie flashing pink,
10,
and Rafa
9,
blue and yellow.
8, 7,
Semifinal 2,
5,
heat 6.
4.
Gab with a great start. He's first through the Pentagon Gate. They make the left turn, now through the Swatch Gate. Gab in yellow, Vanover in the flashing drone, they're first and second.
I'm watching Wild Willie back there. He's got to find a way to move ahead. He launched off that podium in the back of the pack, moved up a couple positions, but then fell back again.
Anything but a win from Willie. And you've got Rafa down, but Gab doesn't care. Gab 707 with a decent advantage. He'll head back to the Pentagon Gate and the start of lap number 2.
Oh, a little cross traffic from Rafa as he gets back up. Nub's going for it.
Gab 707 in front, Nub in second, Vanover in third, Willie a distant fourth.
Willie seems to be creeping really slowly back there. He's not looking good right now. He's got to make it happen.
Gab into the switchback. He comes out after crossing through the square gate, over to the right-hand side of the field, through the truss gate, around the right pole. He'll go back for that final sweeping turn. Here it is. Gab in position, and he does. He takes a 3rd heat win. That means we'll have 4 pilots in sudden death.
Sudden death.
That smooth and calculated Gab 707 was there in that heat. His run was just miraculous. I mean, it's just like a thing of beauty out there, Craig, just flowing through the air effortlessly.
This heat, it was back to Gab's turn.
Gab launched hard and led from wire to wire. Behind him, Vanover and Nub had a great battle for second. Vanover had the edge on lap 1, while Nub had it on lap 2. They had to watch Gab off in the distance take his 3rd win.
Willie, you got 1 heat win, but you'll have to go to sudden death. Looking at the course, which elements are benefiting you and which are hurting you a little bit?
You know, I feel pretty good about like the diamond to square gate, but man, that left foul pole, I keep blowing that turn out, and it's really killing me.
We can all imagine why, but you told me you hate sudden death. Why, in your words, is that?
Oh, it is the worst race to ever be in. I mean, it's just insane amount of pressure, especially this one. You have 4 pilots and only 1 moves on.
Well, best of luck to you.
Thank you, thank you.
Willie said it all with the 6 regular heats in the rear view mirror. We have 2 pilots we know that are moving on, Gab 707 and Vanover. But Wild Willie will now get 1 final opportunity, as will Nub, McStrawley, and Rafa. 1 spot's available for the 4 remaining pilots. The crowd here tonight has clearly been a factor for the pilots. For the fans, they're certainly getting the racing they came for, but there's so much more included, from meet and greets with the pilots before racing, to hands-on with the drones, and the DRL flight simulator.
Super excited. This is something I've wanted to see for a long time.
This is like one of my favorite sports. Like, I love watching it. It's amazing.
Are you rooting for a certain pilot tonight?
100% Nurk.
Gab 707. I dressed in yellow just for him.
I'm for Nurk.
Nurk.
I'm for Nub.
Duncan! Yeah, good to meet you, man.
Good to meet you too, man.
Thank you so much.
That was amazing.
Sudden death, boys.
Sudden death.
Thank you, Willie, for not winning.
What?
Thank you for not winning.
It's mission accomplished for Gab and Vanover. Now, 4 pilots race 1 heat for the last spot in the finals. Sudden death, next. The Drone Racing League, brought to you by Allianz, global leaders in asset management, investments, and insurance. By the U.S. Air Force, Aim High, and by Swatch. Welcome back to the DRL Allianz World Championship. We're in Phoenix, Arizona for Level 5 Chase Field. It's time for sudden death. Gab and Vanover each had at least 2 heat wins and automatically advanced to the finals. They leave the cockpit to watch the race from the pilot's lounge.
I need that.
There will be 4 pilots: Nub, McStrolly, Wild Willie, and Rafa.
It's the time, boys.
This is a who's who of the drone racing world, but Willie's already talked about it. Sudden death is a completely different animal.
You're so right, Craig. Look, I really want to say Willie's got a shot here. However, in that interview we just saw, I didn't see the confidence in his demeanor that I was looking for. Look, Nub's been an aggressive pilot in the past. He's proven that he's extremely fast. He's been right there behind the leading 2 drones most of these heats. I think we're going to see Nub step in and push Wild Willie out right now in sudden death.
Only 1 pilot will advance, either the fastest or the farthest. Let's take you through the colors. Wild Willie flies pink, Nub flies purple, McStrolly in blue, and Rafa blue and yellow.
8, 7,
Semi-final 2,
5,
sudden death.
4.
Everybody heads to the Pentagon Gate. A great start by Rafa. Nub, though, fighting for that front position. They're through the Swatch Gate, climbing up to the Sky Gate. You've got Nub in front, followed by Wild Willie.
Oh no! Rafa, big mistake from him. But look at Nub, surging to the front of that pack earlier on and holding on so far. He's just screaming along this course.
They're all over to the right-hand side of the field. Nub through the truss gate. He's now around the right pole. They'll head back to the Pentagon Gate in the start of lap number 2. Nub's got a big gap to the next man, which is Wild Willie.
Nub's just hitting these turns the way he needs to, right at the right moment, the pivotal access point through these turns to gain extra speed coming out of him and push away the pack that's behind him. Notice how he's gaining ground.
Well, we all know Nub can be hot and cold. When he is on, he rivals any of these guys. With the pressure on, Nub is coming through. Wild Willie and McStrolly can only watch in their FPV goggles because Nub is moving on to the finals here of Level 5.
What a great run for Nub. This guy just dialed it to 11 on the knob, forcing these guys behind him even farther. He took these turns one at a time and gained extra ground every opportunity he could.
Get out of here, Willie.
Amazing run from Nub.
Woo. Yes.
Nub left no doubt who would advance to the finals.
Nub jumped to the early lead and pulled away the rest of the heat. He was fast through the Sky Gate, clean through the switchback, and smooth all the way around for the go-ahead win.
Yeah! That's what I'm talking about! Woo!
Nub, it seems as if you've been towards the front only to fall short these last few races. What's going on?
I don't know. Every single time that I'm up there, I'm always, seems like I'm just chasing somebody. And like the one heat where I finally get a good launch and I'm out front and there's no midair, I'm finally able to pull it together.
So what do you learn from this race, and how do you take the momentum into the finals?
I'm just going to keep focusing on the lines that I'm running. I see spots that I'm able to catch up with Gab and Vanover. So I'm going to just keep focusing on other pilots and try to do my race.
Well, it took sudden death to get there, but congratulations, you're in the finals.
Thank you.
All's well that ends well. Certainly, that could be Nub's mantra as he wins sudden death to join Gab 707 and Vanover out of semifinal group number 2. And they'll head to the finals of Level 5 Chase Field, where they'll meet Fluxy, Jet, and Shaggy from the first semifinal. Please join us next time and follow all the DRL updates on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. For Tony Nittle, Rory McKernan, and our entire crew, I'm Craig Hummer. Thanks for watching. This is DRL, the Drone Racing League. Tonight, the overall points leader seeks to maintain his edge against the top veterans in a heated battle across a long, open, and unforgiving track.
Welcome to Chase Field in Phoenix, Arizona. 6 pilots remain to battle for the level title. Only the top 3 pilots earn season points in the quest to become world champion.
This is Drone Racing.
Get you some!
This is DRL. Welcome to the DRL Allianz World Championship, the premier international drone racing circuit. Expect the desert's heat to be matched by how hot the action will be moments from now. The best pilots have earned their way here, and they all start with a clean slate. 7 heats from now, there will be one standing above the rest as the Level 5 champion. Overall points leader and rookie sensation Vanover finds himself in an unusual situation, the middle of the pack.
I was a little nervous in semis I wasn't going to make it. I got to launch really hard to win this race. That's it. Everywhere else on the track, I'm neck and neck with everyone, but never enough time to pass. So I'm going to launch as hard as I ever have. I've trained for this. It's time to do it.
Trailing Vanover in the season, Gab 707 clawed his way back into contention, winning level 4.
I'm just trying to keep cool, you know? If you want to climb a mountain, you have to take one step after the other. Getting the ticket to finals was the first step. Now I still have finals to deal with, so still a long road.
2018 runner-up Nub has had a disappointing season so far, but qualified for these finals by winning sudden death.
I'm feeling really confident going into finals. I'm able to put down the same times as everybody else. There's a little bit of issue of just getting up front. And to start podiums, it's a very open track, so I got to get out front and try to stay there. Don't let anybody by.
Winning is everything in DRL racing. If you want to win the level, you have to make the golden heat. If you want to make the golden heat, you have to win one of 6 regular heats. The winner of the golden heat will be the Level 5 Chase Field champion. Hello, everybody. Alongside drone racing pilot Tony Nittle, I'm Craig Hummer. And Tony, the finals in front of a live crowd. What more could you ask for?
Not much. The crowd, the energy, the excitement, the atmosphere, all of which can either help or hurt a pilot's focus. But for these guys, they are just soaking it up and channeling it to help their runs.
Here we go, boys. Welcome to finals.
I made it to finals.
Yeah!
No retirement yet.
After 4 levels, Vanover's 2 wins have helped him secure the top spot overall. But he better not take a nap, because Gab 707 is nipping at his heels, Nurk with a level win as well. Each heat is 2 half-mile loops through 14 gates, positioned high and low, crisscrossing the stadium. And this course, TK, is a significant factor.
It truly is. Because it's so open, the pilots need to focus on carrying momentum through the turns more than carving tight lines. The smoothest pilots here will rise to the top.
We saw a lot of mid-air collisions in the semifinals.
We did. The pilots are all flying identical DRL Racer 4s, which means this is spec racing. Every drone performs identically, so no pilot has an advantage. That makes for tight racing, which inevitably brings mid-airs.
Let's give you the pilots and colors for Level 5's finals. Fluxy, the Swatch pilot, flies red and white. Gab 707, yellow. Jet, the two-time world champion, in red. Vanover, a two-time winner this season, the Disco flashing drone. Nub in purple, and Shaggy flashing orange.
7, 6,
Finals,
5,
Heat
4.
1. Fluxy has pole position, but Vanover with a great start as well. You've got Fluxy, Gab 707, Nub, and Vanover all fighting for first.
Vanover's great start, but look at Fluxy right there with him. Let's see how he does in this turn. Oh!
Around the left field pole, Fluxy a little bit ahead. They set up for this switchback. Pilots are down. Vanover and Gab are out. That leaves Fluxy and Nub 1-2.
That just cleaned up the field for Fluxy and less distractions for him at the front of the pack. He is killing it.
Gab somehow managed to come back. Vanover, though, is definitely out. They are on lap number 2. Fluxy in the lead. Nub pushing him.
Look at Nub go! He's trying to find a way to get ahead of Fluxy, but Fluxy's just a little faster.
Setting up for the switchback a second time. Fluxy and Nub right there. They're good friends. They've trained together, and Nub makes the pass.
Not for long. There comes Fluxy, Greg.
Fluxy and Nub, oh, they both made contact.
Oh, man.
Fluxy flies off to the side. Nub in front, and Nub
Get this going, boy.
will go to the Golden Heat. Woo! He wins Heat 1.
That's how it's gonna be.
That's what I'm talking about. You know, Craig, a win's a win. Nub doesn't care how he got it as long as he gets it.
Yeah.
The Heat started with a tight pack, but it didn't last.
Vanover and Fluxy were first off the blocks. Gab and Nub caught them through the Sky Gate, and all four were together approaching the first switchback. Fluxy was first through the Diamond Gate when Vanover and Gab mid-air. Vanover was out while Gab survived, but lost a lot of distance. Fluxy flew a great race and kept Nub off for a lap. Nub closed the gap approaching the switchback on lap 2 and passed Fluxy momentarily, exiting the square gate. These two were side by side until they tapped going around the right field pole. Both survived, but Fluxy was thrown further off his line while Nub closed out the race to earn his spot in the Golden Heat.
Get this done, boy! Yeah!
Nub, you've clinched in the first heat. You're going to the Golden Heat. Tell me why you're so emotional.
I'm super emotional because that's all I wanted. Now I don't have to do anything but fly. That was the perfect scenario for me to make it up on the podium and hope that only one or two other people are up there.
Congratulations. We'll see you in the Golden Heat.
Thank you.
Nub said it, a perfect beginning. Now he can just try to work on those lines and bring them in and tighten them up, getting ready when we'll go to the Golden Heat. Everybody else has got a lot of chances to join him.
I'm feeling good. Maybe I'll get some clean air next time. Won't get hit by Nub. I know for a fact if he didn't hit me around that corner, I would have had him.
Good job. What was your time?
110 flat.
Nice.
So
Good job.
You mid-air, didn't you?
With the mid-air.
Yeah.
That slowed you down.
I'm sorry, Fluxy. I didn't.
Now do it to him.
Huh?
Do it to him now.
I got you.
It's not you.
Oh, all right.
Can we do a Camp Vanover Golden Heat at least?
No. You can't get any more points. No more points for you. You're not standing on that podium tonight, buddy. Not happening.
No points for you.
Not happening.
I'm super tired right now. This is way too much.
In 2018, Nub was the top rookie, finishing second overall. This season has been a little rocky for the Tennessee native, but his respect for the other pilots inspires him to train even harder.
Perfect. Getting to fly drones for a living is definitely one of the best things that I've had in my life. You got to put in as much practice as I can. I can see it from all the other pilots that they're putting in 100% effort, so I know that I have to put in 120. Getting as much training as I possibly can. I'm coming out here, 4 or 5 times a week. When I'm not training, I'm usually spending a couple days a week at the local hobby shop.
In reference to Nub and the word passion, that is an understatement. He carries it above and beyond anybody I've ever seen.
I'm all or nothing.
Nub's on fire!
This is definitely the season that I take the championship. Last year, I just came up a little bit short, and I'm not gonna let that happen again this year. Growing up, and everybody tells you if you work a job that you love, you never work a day in your life. And there's no other feeling like being 26 years old and having that job.
Nub won the first heat and is first to qualify for the winner-take-all Golden Heat. But we're just getting started here at the Level 5 Finals. Heat 2, next. The Drone Racing League. Brought to you global leaders in asset management, investments, and insurance. By the U.S. Air Force, Aim High, and by Swatch. Welcome back to the finals of Level 5 Chase Field. We are getting set for heat number 2. Nub won the first heat and has booked his ticket to the Golden Heat. He had a great battle with Fluxy until the two tapped, sending Fluxy off his line.
Fluxy is hard to catch.
I saw.
I was like,
you caught him. You caught him.
Bobble. Mess up, Fluxy.
Fluxy thrived on this course in the semis, earning the top start podium here in the finals.
And Tony, as you've always said, the course can at times be a friend, but it can also be an enemy. Take us through it.
Pilots launch through the Pentagon Gate with a sweeping left turn to the Swatch Gate. They make a vertical U-turn and climb to a right turn through the Sky Gate around the left field foul pole. Then it's the switchback through the Diamond Gate to the Square Gate. They cross the Diamond to the Truss Gate and around the right field pole back to the Pentagon Gate and the start of lap 2. At the end of lap 2, they pass through the Pentagon Gate and sweep around the light pole to the finish.
It's like a Formula 1 track. There's a lot of space. You just have to find the best line through it, keep the momentum going, make sure the lines are tight at the same time. So it's kind of a delicate battle.
You come into the Sky Gate at a very abrupt angle, but you can carry into it with a lot of speed if you time it just right.
TK, let's talk about the competitive mindset needed to race. A lot can happen in 7 heats.
Absolutely. Sometimes you're the windshield and sometimes you're the bug. But no matter what happens, you gotta stay ready for the next heat. This means putting everything aside and focusing completely on the task at hand. Drone racing is too fast to be thinking, so any thoughts about past mistakes or future glory are impediments to flying well. To succeed here, they need to think 2 turns ahead, using the exit of 1 to set up the next.
Goggles down, controllers up.
Let's run through the pilots and colors. Fluxy flies red and white. Gab 707, the yellow drone. Jet, the 2-time world champion, red. Vanover, the flashing disco drone. Nub, the winner of the first heat, flies purple. And Shaggy, blinking orange.
7, 6,
Final,
5,
heat 2.
4.
All the way, the first goal of the Pentagon Gate. There's the left turn. Gab goes down again. Nub in front. Vanover's down. More contact. You've got Nub, Jet, and another pilot goes out. That one was Jet. Nub finds himself in the lead again. Fluxy pursuing him.
Fluxy pushing. He's going for it, Greg.
Crossing over the right-hand side of the field through the Truss Gate. Your order. Nub, well, Fluxy trying to make the pass. Nub, Fluxy, and then Shaggy. Fluxy doing his best to get to the lead. Nub holding him off. They both climb to the Sky Gate. A lot of acceleration as they head towards the ceiling. Now they'll go for the left field pole and back to the switchback.
These guys know they're in a battle, so they're pushing it extra hard right now. One to the next, each gate lining up their turns. The exit of one vehicle to the next.
This has become a true dogfight. 2 drones, side by side. No contact this time around the right pole. One final sweeping turn. Who's it gonna be? And Fluxy!
Some hot street
Fluxy does an amazing job on that turn.
That's what I'm talking about.
At the last second to get himself into the finish.
3 gates, 3 pilots out.
Gab, Vanover, and Nub had great launches and went through the Pentagon Gate together. Vanover and Gab collided, with Gab going out immediately. Vanover survived another 4 seconds until a midair with Fluxy at the Swatch Gate took him out. Jet was pushing Nub for the lead when he smacked the Sky Gate.
Then it was Nub versus Fluxy version 2.
After the carnage, Nub had a decent lead over Fluxy. Fluxy caught him at the start of lap 2 and stayed right on his tail until the final turn. Fluxy was more aggressive through the Pentagon Gate, and the two were side by side around the light pole. Fluxy carried just a little more speed exiting the turn and took heat 2.
You want some ice cream with that apple pie, baby? Yeah!
Fluxy, how good did it feel for you to come down to another photo finish with Nub, but this time take the heat?
Oh, it was good. Nub and I and Vanover have been training with each other for a long time, and we know we're all about that same level, so to be able to come out here and beat him in a good battle like that feels real nice.
All right, well, congratulations. You made it to the Golden Heat.
It only takes 1 win to get to the Golden Heat, and so far 2 pilots have managed to do just that. Nub won Heat 1, Fluxy just took Heat 2. Jet, Shaggy, Gab, and Vanover are going to have to find a better gear.
I think Nub and Fluxy are getting really lucky. I mean, Nub hit Jet that round, and Fluxy kind of started late and dodged all the midair, so maybe there's some strategy involved there. So they're doing something right. I think there's a lot of luck involved, though. Well, we need to reassess in a few of these heats. Right now, I'm still pretty confident in what I can do and that I can beat these guys. I've trained with Fluxy and Nub, so.
I think we're going to have a lot of people in the Golden Heat.
Yeah, we're all pretty even out here.
Because I know I can go way faster than.
Can I quote that? You want some ice cream and that apple pie? That was so funny.
That gapple, Tony, happened in the final turn of the race. Take us through the key elements of this maneuver.
The final stretch from the Pentagon Gate to the finish is a complex double turn that can make the difference between winning and losing. The 3 keys are steady, smooth movements on the controller, maintaining a constant elevation, and achieving a late apex around the light pole. Pilots approach the Pentagon Gate from the right, beginning the turn prior to the gate by pitching up slightly as they roll and yaw left. They maintain a smooth arc with a delicate balance of pitch, roll, and yaw. They need to swing just wide enough to slowly decrease the radius of their turn prior to the light pole. This allows them to open up the radius under full acceleration to pass the light pole and sprint to the finish. Cutting the first turn out of the Pentagon Gate too tightly forces them to make an acute turn around the light pole, which is slower. Changes in elevation and/or making harsh corrections slow the drone. Mistiming the entrance to the Pentagon Gate can cause a crash.
Nub and Fluxy have qualified for the Golden Heat. Gab, Vanover, and the others need to stay in the air and get to the final turn first. Heat 3 coming up. This is DRL, the Drone Racing League. Welcome back to the DRL Allianz World Championship for the finals of Level 5 Chase Field. We're through 2 of 6 regular heats. Fluxy and Nub dog-fought in both, trading wins and qualifying for the winner-take-all Golden Heat. Everyone else has struggled with mid-airs and carnage.
It is like Demolition Derby out there, Craig. No, you know, we're all just so close now in terms of heat times and lap times and everything that we're gonna see more mid-airs. We're all on the same lines. It's the way it is.
Jet seems to be able to shake it off, Tony, as does Vanover's mom.
Yeah, look at her go.
But how do you deal with getting taken out multiple times in a row?
I don't care. I'm in the Golden Heat.
You really do just have to move on. I mean, the alternative is to dwell on it and stay frustrated. That certainly doesn't help your racing. This is a huge part of being a professional pilot, controlling your mind to put the past aside and treat each race as a new start.
It's aight. It's aight. It's aight. No worries. No worries. No worries, man.
I'm not going to change my strategy. I'm just going to keep going, and hopefully I get around where I don't have a midair, and I can hopefully win. That's all you can do on this track. You and Fluxy seem to do a good job dodging him or surviving him, at least. You're keeping Gab out, though. I appreciate that.
I mean, you help.
I mean, I'm fine if I get kept out, but at least Gab gets kept out.
Yeah. Because he's the only one that can, like, easily beat you in points right now.
But I'm not going to jinx it. He's going to come out strong. Just wait.
Gab trails Vanover in the season standings by 5 points, so he could tie him if he wins here tonight and Vanover misses the podium. Finals, Heat 3. A lot of crashes early on in these finals. Gab 707 in yellow, Fluxy in the red-white drone, first and second. Gab is out in front as they head to the Sky Gate.
That was an aggressive turn back there, but a great job from Gab 707. That gave him the extra little boost that he needed to get out there in front of these guys and build a little bit of distance.
They're into the switchback. Gab 707 and Fluxy fighting for the front. Jet is now out.
Not looking good for him, but Gab 707, though, just continuing to gain some ground. Fluxy realizing that, and he's trying to find his way into the front.
They're about to start lap number 2. Gab 707, the yellow drone that's flashing on and off at the moment. That's not going to bother the other pilots. They're just trying to catch it. They're around the left field pole and into the switchback setup.
I think Fluxy's getting a little worried here. He's not finding that chance to make his pass, and Gab 707 is doing a wonderful job keeping him at bay. He's got these turns down pat.
Gab, Fluxy, and Vanover. Those are your top 3. This is that last turn.
Oh no!
Fluxy trying to do it again! No! But Gab holds him off!
No! What happened?
You got him.
Fluxy, what the hell? Woo! All right.
You were so close.
Did you see that?
You were so close.
We now have at least 3 pilots in the Golden Heat. Gab with the win. Woo! Gab led from start to finish, but Fluxy made it exciting.
Gab was first through the Pentagon and Swatch gates with Fluxy in second. They would stay this way the rest of the heat. Fluxy has the turn from the Pentagon gate around the light pole down. He almost caught Gab there at the start of lap 2, and again at the finish, but Gab was just a little faster and joins Fluxy and Nub in the Golden Heat.
Gab, it looks like it's just as fun for you to watch these replays as it is for us to watch you racing.
Absolutely. I mean, I thought I had this one totally in the bag, and it turns out Fluxy was actually just behind me. So, you know, when I'm racing, I try to keep everything pushed away, no emotions, and then once I'm just watching a replay, I can go crazy.
Okay, you've got a few more heats to race before the Golden Heat. How will you utilize those?
I don't know. Fluxy seems to be really fast on those second laps somehow. I just got to figure that out.
All right, well, good luck to you, and you got your spot in the Golden Heat. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Fluxy, Nub, and Gab 707 are definitely going to race to determine the Level 5 champion. The question is, will Jet, Vanover, or Shaggy join them?
All right. Let's just keep Vanover out of points.
Keep him where he is. Yeah, you guys got to play blocker now.
Yeah.
I'll get in front of you, but like.
Vanover came into this season with a belief that he was one of the best drone pilots in the world, but it's the lessons he's learned from his father that have helped make him the pilot he is today.
I don't know, what do you think?
Time to win. Oh, we're here to pool hall. I wanted to come here today because my mom challenged me to a game of pool.
That's gonna be fun. This was actually my cue that I designed, and Alex's dad loved this cue, so he played with it up until his retirement.
My dad was a pool champion, and when I think of my dad, I think of a cue stick in his hand.
His father, who passed away a few years ago, was a national champion many times over and was one of the greatest pool players that ever lived.
Why did you have to challenge me to a game of pool? To prove something?
No, I don't have anything to prove.
And I think you do. Come on, come on, come on.
Good shot. Alex definitely has the same drive to be a champion. He truly gets that from his dad.
My dad had incredible precision, incredible accuracy, and most of all, he was consistent. He just wouldn't miss. That's how he played pool, and that's what I want to do when I race.
Love you, Alex.
I know. Love you too.
Vanover remains winless so far and out of the Golden Heat. He's made the Golden Heat in all 4 previous levels, winning 2. He doesn't seem that worried, though.
No, for a 19-year-old, he's got a very sophisticated approach to competing. He knows that mid-airs can happen, but the law of averages suggests they won't keep happening. If he just holds course, one of the heats will go his way, and since you only need 1 win to make the Golden Heat, he should be fine.
Jet and Shaggy are in the same boat. What should they do?
The best way to avoid mid-airs is to launch fast and hit that first turn perfectly. If they get through the swatch gate unscathed, the key is being super smooth on the controller sticks to carry as much speed as possible. Harsh corrections slow the drone down, and on this track with these pilots, it's very difficult to catch back up.
7.
Finals, Heat 4. They're up and away. A very good start by Nub.
Ooh, yes, hit the gate.
Midair.
They both survived.
Wow. Vanover, though, way out in front. And yet again, Fluxy and Jet right there trying to push it.
Look, Jet's got to make his move if he wants to get up there. He knows how to fly this track. We've seen him do an amazing job at it. He needs to step up right now.
Oh, Nub made contact.
He's out.
Nub is now out. We've hinted at how Vanover would handle the pressure. He's answering us all at the moment. A ton of clean air, and you cannot give Vanover an advantage like this and expect to walk away with the win. He's continuing to put distance between himself, Jet, and Fluxy.
Absolutely, Vanover just done a great job getting to the front of the pack. What I talked about earlier, if you can get up there, you get that confidence boost. And when you do, you just gotta hold on, tighten it all the way through.
Vanover, mistake-free here in heat number 4 through the truss gate around the right pole. And he's only got 1 big left turn before it is official. Vanover books his ticket. He wins heat number 4.
Let's go! You ain't keeping me out, boys!
You ain't getting no points in the finals either. You're shook, buddy.
Yes!
You're nervous.
You ain't doing anything!
You're nervous.
I am 100% on fire. Murr, 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 murr. Murr, 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 murr.
Why did it take you so long, buddy? Why did it take you so long?
Just let you guys have your fun.
Crashing out, yeah?
Just let you guys have your fun.
You're shaking.
I'm good, dude.
So nervous up here, Vanover.
You ain't
Look
getting in my
at you.
head. You tried
I
this.
am.
You tried this.
You don't even deserve
you
this
tried
spot.
This, in level
This
4.
is Evan's spot. You're
It's all
here on a
good.
technicality.
It's all good.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what? It'll be fun capping you
You
later.
are here
Let's get
on
this interview wrapped up now. Let's do this. I love Fluxy. It's great.
The 3 pilots already in the Golden Heat all had contact in the first turn of that heat.
Vanover had the best launch and took the lead. Right behind him, Gab clipped the Pentagon gate and was out. 1 second later, Fluxy and Nub tapped. Both survived, but it cost them some time. That put Vanover alone up front. He was smooth, clean and fast throughout, and took home the easy win.
Yes! Let's go!
Vanover, we were getting a little chippy there after that race. What were you and Fluxy exchanging words about?
He's just talking trash. He's like, oh, you're making mistakes, you're crashing out. He's not wrong, I suppose. I've been in a lot of mid-air collisions, but you know what? I'm here to race. I know what I'm capable of, and he does. He tried this stuff in level 3, level 2, level 4. It didn't work for him then. It's not going to work for me, or work for him now, rather.
Okay, we were watching your replay. It was almost as if you were admiring your line. What are you most proud of this evening with your flying?
Oh, geez, I've trained so hard for a wide open course like this. I've said it before, it's not my style of a track, but I'm really proud of myself that I've overcome that barrier of, not learning how to apex turns. I really worked hard for this, so I'm proud to see when I'm out in front that I can fly those lines that I've trained for. This season is my first season. I'm trying to build myself up as a complete package. I think I'm almost there, and I'm really going to keep pushing to get there.
All right, congratulations. It's fun to watch.
Thank
you. One win gets you in the Golden Heat. We've had 4 heats and 4 different winners. Nub, Fluxy, Gab, and Vanover will definitely race to be this level champion, but Jet and Shaggy, they're running out of time. Things are definitely heating up here in the finals of Level 5 Chase Field, both on the track and in the cockpit. Heat 5, next. This is DRL, the drone racing lead. Welcome back to the finals of Level 5 Chase Field, and the action has been fierce and intense. 4 different pilots have already qualified for the Golden Heat. The last winner, Vanover, made sure TK to note the trash talking between him and Fluxy, and even though he said it was okay, it didn't really seem like it was.
No, look, Fluxy knows how to get in people's heads, and that's what he was doing the second Vanover won that heat. He wants to get in there.
Oh, Fluxy, I love it. It's so much fun, man. Oh, geez. Turning DRL into UFC.
Don't smile up here. I hate you right now.
Surprised he's not talking that way to me since we mid-aired.
Yeah, because it's not you he's worried about. You should be. You shouldn't underestimate you. You hear that, guys?
All 6 of your family members.
It's a whole army, man. You're just jealous.
Craig, Tony, as you know, there are no rules governing cockpit banter, and tonight, more than most races, has been out of control. We've seen outright yelling at one another. Most of this is just an additional mental game by the pilots trying to throw each other off. We'll see who can internalize it, put it to the side, and focus on their racing.
Rules to live by in the DRL world. The pilots in colors once again. Fluxy, the Swatch pilot, flies red and white. Gab 707 in yellow. Jet, the 2-time world champ, he needs a win to make that Golden Heat. He flies red. Vanover, the disco drone. Nub in purple, and Shaggy in orange. Final, Heat 5. 6 headed to the Pentagon gate. It's the left turn, and the fight has already begun. Fluxy, the red and white drone right there. Nub there as well.
Look at Nub surging to the front of that pack. Oh!
Vanover makes contact.
He's out.
Vanover is out. You've got Nub, Fluxy, and Jet, your top 3.
Jet's in striking distance.
Oh! That was Fluxy. That goes down. Nub, a clear first. Jet, and then Shaggy in third.
I'm keeping my eye on Jet just behind Nub here. He knows this track. We've seen him do some amazing things here. He's got to find a way to gain some ground on Nub.
Well, Jet might be amazing, but Nub's putting on a clinic at this point. We've seen this so many times. With clean air, these guys just do what they are great at. Through the switchback, the square gate, he'll cross over to the right-hand side of the field. Nub with a lot of distance back to Jet.
Nub really pulling away here, just as he should to keep Jet at bay.
There's that final turn from Nub. Nub gets another win.
What do you think about that one, huh? I ain't even got to yell about it. I knew it was going to happen.
Nub is on fire here, Craig. What a good run from him, and a solid performance in this heat. Woo. Nicely done.
Tony, that heat was just Nub-tastic.
You can say that again. Nub passed Fluxy for the lead on the climb to the first sky gate. Fluxy stayed in the hunt until he hit the square gate. This gave Nub a ton of clean air and the go-ahead win.
What do you think about that one, huh?
Nub, earlier in the season, you've had trouble staying out of your own head. Where's your head at now that you've got 2 heat wins and you're going to the Golden Heat?
It's nothing but positivity. Right now, I'm standing up on the front podium in the Golden Heat. I know that I can put down the times to beat all of these guys, so I'm really happy to be here.
All right, we look forward to watching it.
Nub noted that front podium because the way the seeding works in the Golden Heat, whoever has the most heat wins gets that front position. We still only have 4 pilots in the Golden Heat. That means Jet and Shaggy are down to 1 final chance. The crowd here at Chase Field has been getting quite the show. They came for the racing, but for the couple thousand that arrived early, they also got to interact with the pilots, the drones, play on the DRL flight simulator.
I'm super excited. This is something I've wanted to see for a long time.
This is like one of my favorite sports. Like, I love watching it. It's amazing.
Are you rooting for a certain pilot tonight?
100% Nurk.
Gab 707. I dressed in yellow just for him.
I'm for Nurk.
Nurk?
I'm for Nub.
Duncan.
Thank you so much.
There will be a crowd in the Golden Heat as 4 pilots have already qualified. There's still 1 heat left for Jet or Shaggy to join them if they can find a way to win. Heat 6 coming up. This is DRL, the drone racing league. Welcome back to the DRL Allianz World Championship. We're in Phoenix, Arizona for the finals of Level 5. We are down to our last regular heat before we move on to the Golden Heat. We know 4 pilots are there: Nub, Fluxy, Gab, and Vanover. For 2 pilots, it's basically sudden death. Jet, the 2-time world champion, needs a win, as does Shaggy.
This is going to be a good one. This is basically a Golden Heat now.
For Shaggy and I. All right, clean it up, clean it up.
Hey, thank you guys so much for downloading the DRL Drone Duels app tonight. I know you've been picking your favorite racers, who you think's gonna win, and the fan favorite voting all night. And, well, Fluxy is the fan favorite.
Yeah, Fluxy's the favorite. You picked the lead over Vanny.
You hear that, Vanover? They want me to win now, baby.
I gotta shut this man up.
Let's go.
One more gems.
Go ahead and plug in.
Plug it in. One last chance for Jet and Shaggy.
These 2 are under the gun right now and have a lot of pressure going into heat number 6.
And for the others, one last chance for start placement and psychological advantage.
7, 6,
Finals,
5,
Heat 6. Nub! That was an early start. That's going to get another look. But you got to give Gab a lot of credit. He and Jet are first and second through. Nub right there as well.
Look at these 2 just neck and neck. Oh, Nub's gone down.
Nub takes himself out. Gab 707 in first in yellow. Jet in red in second. Jet needs this win.
Seems like these 2 were off to a little shaky start, but they've gotten right back into their comfortable zones and on their line.
Around the right pole, back to the Pentagon Gate, and the start of lap number 2. Gab 707 in yellow and Jet in red, first and second.
Jet carves that turn to scream up to Gab 707, but not enough.
Gab maintaining that lead. He and Jet are very good friends and also training partners, but they're not going to think about that right now. Vanover's trying to work his way back. He's in the third. Fluxy's right there in fourth. Gab continues to lead.
Jet needs to pull a trick out of his hat right now. He's running out of real estate.
Jet has to win to make the Golden Heat.
Jet's going for it.
Gab
his good friend is going to prevent him. Gab wins the final regular heat.
Good
34
racing.
of us.
You better win.
I'm done.
That was my best run, though.
It was a good run.
Felt really good.
I'm trying to slice you.
Woo!
Gab and Jet battled the entire heat, just like the old days.
Gab and Jet traded the lead from the first swatch gate until the switchback, where Gab took the lead for good. Jet pressed him in the switchback on lap 2, and again at the finish. But it wasn't enough. Jet does not make the golden heat.
Damn it!
Gab, congrats on another heat win, but it was your buddy Jet really needed that one. You couldn't show him some mercy?
I don't know, man. You know, we're buddies in the real life, but you know, once the goggles come down, we're competitors, though.
All right, fair enough. How does the racing this evening compare to what you've seen in the past?
I think this is definitely some of the best racing we've had ever to date on DRL, and this is just so good.
It's fun to watch. You've got 2 heat wins going into the Golden Heat. Good luck.
If you want to win a level, you need to first make the Golden Heat. And now we know there will be 4 pilots there. Nub, Gab 707, Fluxy, and Vanover.
Yeah, I was hot on Gab's tail there. I was flying really well, but he was flying just that little better. Tried to cut it on that last pull, and he got me. He got me, so at least I flew well, man. I'm happy. I'm happy.
A tough loss for Jet, but Gab did say that tonight has been the best racing in DRL history. And speaking of historic racing, DRL brought high-speed drone racing to Gardens by the Bay in Singapore for an exclusive champions race with Jet, Fluxy, Gab, and Vanover.
Welcome to Gardens by the Bay in Singapore, where we have turned one of the world's most famous gardens into a high-speed, 3-dimensional racetrack.
Let's go, Fluxy!
Drone racing is said to be a game of inches, and this one is no different.
Gab 707 into the finish. Gab 707 is your DRL Allianz Singapore champion.
But these guys have been in Singapore for over a week, taking in the sights, and of course, flying some drones.
Tech Ops prepare the Racer 4s for the Golden Heat. Jet and Shaggy didn't make it, so they will exit the cockpit.
Golden Heat, you, me, and Fluxy.
I'm gonna try mid-air Gab.
Dude, that'd be cool.
I don't care what you guys do.
If you and Gab mid-air and it takes both y'all out, like that's the perfect scenario.
Yep, helps me.
Yeah.
It's rough strategy, but.
It's like if me or him wins, we're only at 5 or 6 points.
We know that the level 5 champion will be either Nub, Gab, Fluxy, or Vanover. We have one more race to determine it. The winner take all Golden Heat. Next. The Drone Racing League, brought to you by Allianz, global leaders in asset management, investments, and insurance. By the U.S. Air Force, Aim High, and by Swatch. We've made it to the Golden Heat at level 5 Chase Field. 4 guys are in it. Nub, Gab 707, Fluxy, and Vanover. The stakes for each pilot here are different. TK, start with Vanover.
Vanover is the overall season points leader, 5 ahead of Gab. If he wins this heat, it would take a miracle for anyone to catch him.
Gab could end up tying Vanover.
If Gab wins and Vanover comes in fourth, they will be tied overall. Nub and Fluxy are well behind. For them, a win here guarantees they will race in level 7, as only the top 6 overall will make it.
Bottom line, this heat matters. Our 4 pilots and their colors. Nub in purple, Gab 707 yellow, Fluxy the Swatch pilot, red and white, and Vanover, the flashing disco drone.
8, 7,
Finals,
6, 5,
Golden Heat.
4.
Winner take all. Fantastic start from Nub. He's got the early lead through the Swatch gate, climbing to the Sky gate. Gab and Vanover chasing him.
Look at these guys, ducks in a row, Craig. Nub doing a great job keeping them at bay, though, as he threads these turns just wonderfully.
Drop down into the switchback for the first time. Nub able to accelerate out of the square gate, but Gab is keeping it close. They're on the right side of the course, around the right field pole, back to the Pentagon gate, and the start of lap number 2. Nub in the lead.
These guys behind Nub.
Ooh, a bit of a bobble from Nub.
There goes Gab. He's closing it.
Gab has closed the distance. Nub and Gab, 1-2. They'll drop down into the switchback yet again.
Gab's running out of time. He's gaining.
Oh, look at that.
Blade to blade.
There was a bump. That drops Gab back. Nub there for the win. He's got a few more turns. He'll drop in. The sweeping left. Can Nub do it? Oh, Gab's going for it. Nub is your level 5 champion. I won! Yes! Yeah!
What a run from Nub. Man, oh man.
That's what I'm talking about!
Fantastic launch off the podium, getting to the front of the group and not letting go a tiny bit.
Nub knocks back the wind and sends a message of his own. Nub led the entire heat, but Gab had a shot.
Nub had a fantastic launch and took the early lead. He flew a near perfect first lap. He had a slight bobble through the Swatch gate on lap 2, which allowed Gab to close the distance. Gab had a great dive around the left field pole and a 2-tap going through the diamond gate. Gab was thrown off his line just a little, but it was enough to give Nub the space he needed to take home the win and become the level 5 champion.
Here are your final results for Level 5 Chase Field. Nub takes the first win of his DRL career, Gab 707 finishes second, and Fluxy rounds out the podium.
Now, first off, congratulations on a tremendous accomplishment. Can you put it into words? What does it mean to you?
It means everything. Getting these points, getting real points up on the board, it shows these other pilots that I have what it takes still to stand up there on the podium at the end of the season and come back for another year.
Well, once again, congratulations. You earned every bit of it.
Thank you.
The overall season standings are getting interesting. Vanover misses his first podium of the year, but remains on top with 13 points. Gab is now just 3 points back with 10, and with this win, Nub moves into third with 6. Let's go down to Rory and the award presentation.
Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to our Level 5 champion, Nub!
That does it for Level 5. Be sure to join us next time and keep up with DRL all year long on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. For Tony Niddle, Rory McKernan, and our entire crew, I'm Craig Hummer. Thanks for watching.